Welcome back to the channel, everybody. There's lots of news to discuss with the Laura Owens case. There are so many updates, and I have not been able to keep up with it because I am covering so many other stories. I'm doing trial coverage of the Tim's trial, which if you've missed that, you really need to catch up. It's a lot of fun. Go check out my playlist. Also, the Hales cases are off the charts, crazy. And I have a kid who's homeschooling this year, so I am just really pressed for time. I've been meaning to do the body cam footage and the blog post by David Gingras, so many things. So I'm trying to get caught up, and this is the first installment of that. Today we are going to talk about the new article that's in the Daily Mail about the Laura Owens case, and it is a doozy. Let's get started. Okay, we're going over to the Daily Mail. Radio legend's daughter, who filed false paternity suits against 3 men, including Bachelor star, captured ranting at cops in shocking body cam footage. Yep, that's right, folks. That's where we're at. Let's just talk about this headline for a second, because the headline itself, well, I'm impressed. For one, this is the first time the mainstream press has even talked about there being more than one man. And in this article, they're going to name Greg Gillespie and Mike Maricini and actually go into their cases, which is real bad news for Laura Owens, because now the whole world knows that it's not just a one-off. This is not just an argument with one ex-lover or whatever. This is a serious problem. I like this warning here too that says graphic content. Oh boy, what are we going to get into? Now, I have a problem with the first line here. It's not fatal attraction, it's fetal attraction. Excuse me, Dana Kennedy? Dana, where's my credit? Where's the link to my stream? Where's the link to my playlist called Fetal Attraction? Now, you know, and I know you got it from this channel. I would appreciate a link back. Where the hell is my link back? I hate it when the news does this to me. And they do it all the time. All the time. They literally do it all the time. What a bunch of jerks. Don't take my jokes and then pretend like they were your jokes. That's not cool, Dana. But whatever. Maybe Dana needs to hear about it on Twitter. Where's my link back? I would have been really happy with a link back. I love it when the media does this, when they tell a story and pretend like they're the ones who broke it, and they refuse to name any of the people who actually did break it. They don't talk about Dave Neal, I notice. They don't give me a link back. Fuckers. Laura Owens was not just hooked on one man, but at least 3, and claims she got pregnant by them all. Wow. So far, pretty accurate. Now, the first series of lawsuits, both civil and criminal, is about to hit the courts, which will have to decide whether she faked a pregnancy with one-time TV bachelor Clayton Echard. Well, no, that one's already over. So the civil case is over, and she was found to have faked it. The criminal case is coming up, yes. But okay, that's not a terrible mistake. It's a small one. We'll let it go. And police body cam videos from January obtained by the Daily Mail. Oh, were they? Were they obtained by the Daily Mail? Did you obtain them, or did you get them from someone else who obtained them? Or did you see them on YouTube by one of the channels that did get them and then decide to put your own request in? Again, this is how they hide that other people broke the story. They did not get the body cam footage first. We know that Schnitzel Ninja had the body cam footage, and All the Best Research had the body cam footage. And again, where's the link back? Now, they may have gotten their own copy, but it's a real bullshit way to say, to pretend like you did this, Daily Mail. This is garbage. I hate this kind of reporting. It pisses me off. They will do everything in their power to cut out any of the other journalists, citizen journalists, other researchers that did the work on this case. They're not going to mention any of the YouTubers. They're just total assholes taking credit for a story they didn't break and that they know nothing about. Because it took them this long to even mention the other victims. How long have we been talking about Mike Maricini and Greg Gillespie, chat? How long? Long time. And police body cam footage obtained by the Daily Mail. Where's I need a sound effect there. We all know you didn't obtain it. Show an early morning police SWAT raid on the Scottsdale, Arizona home where Owens lives with her parents could hinder her case. I have done nothing except get pregnant from the fucking Bachelor, she screams hysterically at the cops who arrived at the home just before 7 a.m. I don't think she said, I feel like I've gone and killed somebody. I think she said, you're treating me like I've killed somebody. But maybe she did say, I feel like I've got, I don't know. I don't remember hearing that. Owens continues to yell at the officers about how they have no right to enter, even though they have search warrants and are polite, as she repeatedly rails at them in a fury. I'm happy with the way that they wrote this. F all you guys, Owens says more than once in the videos as she yells indignantly that her father, former San Francisco radio legend Ron Owens, is handicapped. Eckert, 32, told the Daily Mail that Owens' demeanor in the videos mirrors some of the behavior he experienced from her during a lengthy ordeal that ended last May when prosecutors charged her with 7 felony counts, including forgery, perjury, and evidence tampering stemming from her paternity claim against him. Guys, not only is this the behavior that Eckert witnessed, but do you recall that Mike Maricini, how he described their flight to Iceland? That the flight attendants had to come over and ask her to keep it down. Imagine this, being trapped on a plane with this.
This is so inappropriate of you guys to do. Where are you guys? My dad is handicapped. You know what? I can see my dad. I can't see my dad. Can't. I want to see my dad who is handicapped. I'm sorry.
Come to the front room.
He can't stand up. You guys,
Laura,
he's gonna fall.
I'm gonna help
he
him.
can't
I'm going to
stand.
Laura, we gotta take care of it.
Please, you're hurting me. You are hurting. No, you weren't. You were hurting me. I want to see my dad.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs?
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see my
Go to the
father.
front room.
You are hurting me.
I'm
you
barely
are
touching
hurting
you.
me, and
My
there's
hands
going
are
to be a
open.
report for what you
It's
have
on
done.
camera
I
right now.
guarantee
Laura,
you,
come to the front room.
I will have bruises from this. I guarantee you,
Come
I
on.
will.
Laura, come on.
I'd like to see my father, please.
You just saw him, Laura.
No, and I don't know where my mom
Don't make me put you in
is.
handcuffs.
Imagine having to deal with this on an airplane, right? Not cool.
Was she manipulating you at that point with hysteria? Like, did you trigger her by saying you didn't trust her? And what kind of what was the combustible moment there?
Yeah. So that video is multiply that by 10, and that's what she was on that flight.
Oh my God.
You have to imagine we're on a red-eye flight. We're in a tube 30,000 feet in the air, and and so she was crying hysterically.
Tell me you're not sitting in the middle seat, please.
I mean, it was wow. It was like a WOW Airlines. It was like a Spirit. So I'm sure we fit right in there.
She for the flight on a budget airline.
Airline. But it was just kept telling her, I was like, I'm not ready to be in a relationship to where I'm talking about this publicly nonstop and posting photos because I just don't trust you, especially what you just did to me. And she starts crying hysterically on the flight, to the point where people are all turning around. Like if I go out to a restaurant and my daughter acts up, who's a toddler, I immediately remove her from the situation and say hey, this isn't right. I gotta walk away here. On the flight, she's crying hysterically to the point where I can't calm her down. I'm constantly I was like, why don't we you read a book? I'll leave my headphones on and watch a show. And she kept pulling my headphones off and asking me more questions.
Oh God.
And so I found I think it's best if I go and I sit at a different part. It's a full flight, knowing it's a budget airline. So I go and I sit in the bathroom for a couple of hours. But I mean, the flight was very long. It was 5-6+ hours. So I came back, after she had been crying hysterically and being in the bathroom, and she kept at it again. And I just finally told her, I was like, listen, let's try to have a good time, but stop asking me these questions. And
I'm surprised that the flight attendants didn't try to intervene at some point. And
they did. They came by and out. They didn't come by and move us. There was never yelling on my part. It was just her crying hysterically. and they came by and asked her to quiet down because it's a red-eye flight and that people are sleeping. I don't do well with those type of things. And I mean, I just remember her crying hysterically. And I looked up and I looked around, everybody was turned around, like looking at us. And I'm like, I have another 5+ hours of this. Like, how do I solve this?
All right. So you recall that the airplane scenario is very similar to what the body cam footage is showing us. If we've had this testimony from Mike Maricini for a while now that she was completely wildly out of control. And that's exactly what we saw on the body cam footage, which again, guys, just be patient. I am going to go through the body cam footage with you guys sometime soon. It's just that I haven't had a minute to breathe. So let's get back to this article. All right, so they're picturing all three of the victims, which is great. This is the first time that the mainstream media has even acknowledged that there are other victims. So this is terrific. I mean, they finally figured out there's a huge story here, and it isn't the one that Laura Owens told or that she wants people to believe. This is a great angle, by the way. Great shot of Laura and her mother. More body cam footage. Ron, the miracle. Ron is walking with a walker, which Laura says he can't do, and he clearly did it on the video, and he did quite well. It's a miracle. This was the stuff of a bad movie, and yet it happened to me, Eckert 32 said, describing a nightmare that he said included hundreds of harassing texts from Owens from 13 different phone numbers and 3 email addresses, as well as efforts to discredit his reputation and get his real estate license taken away from him. Yep, we covered all of that. We know what she did. Owens 35, a horse-loving podcaster. Oh, I love that for her. A horse-loving podcaster. If that doesn't make you look insane, nothing else will. I would hate to be described as a horse-loving podcaster. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We like horses than horseback riding. It still sounds crazy, though. Filed a paternity petition in court in Phoenix in August of 2023, accusing Eckert of fathering her twins during a one-night stand. Eckert denied it and claims they only had oral sex and did not have intercourse. That November, Owens testified in court that she was 24 weeks pregnant with twins, but shortly after, she dropped the lawsuit, saying she must have miscarried, as she realized she was no longer expecting. However, in a criminal case due to be heard in January, prosecutors claim she doctored a sonogram. No. It's not that prosecutors claim this. She admitted that she doctored a sonogram. Daily Mail, she admitted it on the stand. That's a fact that is not in controversy. Prosecutors claim she doctored a sonogram and pregnancy video and lied under oath when she accused Eckert of fathering her twins. She has pleaded not guilty. Eckert told the Daily Mail that his life was turned upside down by his one night with Owens. He said she immediately became obsessed with him after he dumped her and made up the pregnancy. And we have the famous belly photo here. We don't need to linger on that. It's disturbing. Laura Owens submitted a picture she said was her baby bump to the court, claiming Eckert was the father. And of course, the famous mugshot. Eckert, who was the bachelor on season 26 of the hit ABC dating show and now works as a realtor in Scottsdale, said he felt vindicated when prosecutors charged her last May. He told the Daily Mail that he believes Owens's mother, former radio reporter Jan Black, is the driving force behind her daughter's legal issues, although she denies that accusation. You know, frankly, Clayton, I think you should be careful putting too much of it on Jan, because Laura is an adult and adults have autonomy. And Laura could have moved out of her mother's house. You know, she could have recognized that her mother was destructive to her, but she didn't. You know, she chose to play along with whatever this game is that they are playing. And while I do think Jan has a lot to do with it, I would not lay the blame on Jan solely. I hope that she can be prosecuted as a conspirator or co-conspirator or however they do it, because I think she may be. But he's just too nice. He's too nice to Laura. Like you're being too nice, Clayton. I know you're a nice guy, but this is too nice. Prosecutors listed an unnamed accomplice in court documents. I don't even really blame Laura. Mistake, Clayton. Blame her. It is her fault. I think her mom has enabled and encouraged her daughter, and Laura doesn't even realize it. Yes, agreed. Enabled, encouraged, all of those things. But there is a time when an adult reaches an age of maturity where they should be able to say, my mother is crazy. I don't want any part of this. And I'm moving on. And I'm going to go live a normal, law-abiding life and not listen to this craziness. But she didn't do that, But Black insisted her daughter's pregnancy was real. Oh, God, Jan's still on this. She's still on it. And said Laura has been tormented by an online mob, hounded by men's rights podcasters, and prosecuted selectively by the state of Arizona. Okay, Daily Mail. Here's the moment. Here's the moment when you could have reached out to those podcasters and asked, are you a men's rights podcaster? Because they do no follow-up to this statement whatsoever. They do not call Dave Neal. They do not call me. They do not call Lauren. They do not ask any of us, hey, or Reality Steve, are you a men's rights podcaster? Because that's absurd. That's not what any of us are connected with. I'm not connected to any men's rights movement. Neither is Dave. Neither is Lauren. We're just YouTubers. I'm a journalist. I've been covering the Me Too stuff. I guess you could consider me a men's rights activist if you put men's rights in a category where I say everyone should be treated equal under the law. I don't know how that's specifically men's rights. I think all people deserve those rights. All people deserve to be treated equally under the law. And all women should not be believed. That is not a controversial opinion. It is it's a correct one. It is the rational opinion to have. I'm for the rights of victims, actual victims. And if the Daily Mail had contacted me to ask me, hey, are you a men's rights podcaster? I could have told them, no, I'm a journalist and I advocate for victims' rights. And Clayton and Mike and Greg are all victims of this woman. And yes, women can victimize men. That doesn't make me a men's rights activist. It makes me a rational human being who can look at the facts and figure out what happened. And so, again, the media screws the pooch because they do not ask follow-up questions. And it's, this is purposeful because they don't want the audience to know where to go other than them to find out about this story. They don't want to send you to my channel. They don't want to send you to Dave's channel because we are their competition, because we broke this story first, because we had the goods. And they have to pretend like they got them. It's gross, Daily Mail. I genuinely didn't think something like this could happen in this country, Black 69 told the Daily Mail exclusively in her first extensive interview. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Apparently, it's the only time there's been a paternity case like this prosecuted. You know why, Jan? Because nobody is this insane. There are very few people that are as crazy as your daughter to take someone to court when they know they're not pregnant and claim to be pregnant. Very few people. I can't say when this has ever actually happened before. It's probably very rare. Yeah, I would believe that. So here's a picture of the indictment. And a picture of Jan and Ron horsing around with the little dog in the background who pees in the house. Laura, she said, begged the court to seal the record. Well, that's convenient. She did that after she went to the Sun asking for media attention. You don't get to go and seal the record after you've been asking for media attention. No, that's not the way any of this works. This woman runs around screaming, "We want privacy! We want privacy!" Meanwhile, she's going to the media and asking them to cover the story. Okay, back to the article. Laura said she begged the court to seal the record. She wanted this to be private. Oh, did she? No, she didn't. She called the Sun. And here's another reason why this by the Daily Mail sucks. Because they would know, based on if they would do any amount of research, that Laura Owens went to the press First, that she even emailed Clayton and she blackmailed him with going to the press. Now, don't you think that would have been helpful information in this article? Maybe I need to write an article responding to the Daily Mail where they got everything, some of these things wrong. And these are very important things because they're allowing Jan Black to say things that are 100% untrue, 100% bullshit. Where's my button?
Bullshit.
None of this is true. And this is not good journalism. They're allowing her to lie, and they are not doing anything to check that lie, to fact check it. This is fake news.
You are fake news.
Just telling you, the media is garbage. The toll. No, wait. She wanted this to be private. The prosecutor seems to be saying she wanted notoriety. She begged not to have notoriety. Come on now. She wanted the notoriety. She went to the press. She sent the press her medical records. This is just all garbage that she didn't want notoriety. She loves the attention. She still loves it. She probably loves every minute of it. Every minute that we are not streaming about her or making videos about her, she freaks out, which is why she acts out and does things so that more people will talk about her. That's how it looks to me, because she does nothing to stop the constant stream of content that she keeps providing. For instance, and I was going to save this for when I go over the body cam footage, but I'm just going to say it because it relates. And I'll just say it again when I go over the body cam footage. One of the parts in the footage, she starts flipping out that this is going to be on the internet. They're wearing cameras. It's all going to be public. And yet she does nothing to govern her behavior so that she isn't embarrassed online. Here's what you need to do when you are being, when you're on a body camera and you're a member of like maybe some kind of online community where people might know you. Maybe you're a limited purpose public official. Maybe you're me. If I get raided and I know that cops have body cams, I'm going to do my very best not to panic, not to freak out, and to be as quiet as possible so that it's very, very boring footage. I mean, if they show up at your house and they have a warrant, there is nothing you can do other than sit down, shut up, and let them do what they're there to do. You fight it later. If you think that the warrant was unjust, or if you think that something, you fight that later. You can't fight it with the cops in the SWAT gear with the guns. Are you crazy? She's lucky she didn't get tased. Really, with the way she behaved, do you think that other people from different demographics would have the kind of luck she had with the SWAT team behaving like that? Because I seriously doubt it. Her behavior was very bad, and she knows darn well that the worse she acts, the more content she's giving people. So you have to wonder at some point, is she doing this on purpose? Did she behave that way so that it would become a big, huge story and end up in the Daily Mail? I mean, how much would the Daily Mail would have wanted to write about this if she had just sat quietly on the couch, looking stoic and saying nothing? There wouldn't be a story. And I think she knows that. The toll on the Owens family has been devastating, Black said. Black said the SWAT team raided their home in January looking for prosthetic baby bumps and pregnancy hormones. Well, not just that. They were also looking for electronics. 12 to 15 guys, guns drawn.
Bullshit.
Black said, you send a SWAT team for that? Yes, ma'am. A SWAT team comes before the warrant search is done. And the reason the SWAT team comes is because the detectives don't know what kind of resistance they're going to meet. They can't just take a chance that they're going to come to your house and no one there is going to flip out. I mean, based on Laura's history and her behavior, especially blowing up the way that she does, it is not out of the realm of possibility that she might snap and do something crazy to the detectives. So yes, they had to clear the house. They had to make sure there were no weapons. They had to make sure that all the people who were in the house were contained in a room so that detectives could come in and safely do their search. If you don't understand that, then you're an idiot. And also, why should Laura Owens be treated any differently than anybody else who has a warrant for a search? And this is the protocol that the SWAT team did absolutely the best job they could, trying not to upset anyone, speaking calmly, Frankly, Ron Owens and that SWAT guy were having a perfectly nice conversation until Laura came in and started freaking out. She was the only one having a panic. She said her father was panicked. No, he wasn't. He wasn't having the best day, but he was talking to the cop about his uniform, and he was like, "Hey, this really seems like overkill." You know, they were joking back and forth. I don't want to hear this. This is garbage, Jan. And their guns were not drawn. They had guns on them because they are police officers, and all police officers have guns in America. America, fuck yeah. Okay. Laura now weighs just 84 pounds at 5'4", her mother said. Why does that matter? An 84-pound, 5'4" woman could pull a trigger. That doesn't matter in the slightest to the safety of the SWAT team and the safety of the detectives. It's horrific what is done to her, she said. She's been, I can't even say this word on YouTube. She's been self-harming off and on. I don't really think that's true, but I love this next line. Laura Owens, however, sounded cheerful and cogent when the Daily Mail reached her by phone in Arizona. All right, I may forgive you, Daily Mail, for some of the stupid shit you pulled in this article, because that line right there, chef's kiss. It's basically their way of saying, you know,
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see you. She was fine. She's fine. All right. So then we have some pictures of the Greg Gillespie texts, which shocked me. I was like, holy cow, are we going to talk about the Gillespie case? And sure enough, the caption here says on the website, victims of Laura Owens. Now, do you notice that they don't link victims of Laura Owens? They talk about it, but they don't link it. Yet again, more indication that the media does not want you getting this information from anybody but them. They did not link it. This is criminal behavior. This is so bad. It's so okay, it's not criminal, but it's unethical. I'll tell you that much. As a journalist, if I am quoting from somebody, if I am using information that I found somewhere, I need to put a link in. It's not enough to say it came from this site. I have to link it to them. That is the nature of journalism on the web now. This is garbage. This is garbage right here. Bad job, Daily Mail. And by the way, it is victimsoflauraowens.com. Please go and give them a bookmark it, because they have the best, all the documents, and it's great. That website is terrific. I can't tell you how much I wish I could make a statement to you, said Owens, and I would be happy to once the criminal side of things is over. I have lots to say, but I would get in trouble. Oh, why would that be?
She lied?
Yeah, maybe.
This will get awkward.
I can say I am innocent, but nothing more for now. It's best if you go through my mother. Well, good. Good for her that she finally shut up long enough to get to her criminal trial. What I don't understand is why she decided to get on the stand before her criminal trial in the Maricini case, though, and possibly perjure herself again. Black hit back at claims both online and by Eckert that she is pulling the strings behind the scenes. If supporting my daughter makes me a puppet master, then fine, she said. We've really tried to help her through this. She said the ordeal has bankrupted the family who moved to Scottsdale from San Francisco several years ago after Ron Owens, who suffers from health issues, including Parkinson's, retired. Jan, is it really this case, or is it the fact that you've been funding your daughter's litigious ways for years? You've been funding her lawsuits against Mike Maricini, against Greg Gillespie, against that poor contractor, against Uber, against who else is there? Eckert. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Owens, who turns 80 next week, does have a GoFundMe page that has raised more than $130,000. However, it says the family's financial woes are down to his health problems that have included 4 bouts with cancer, and makes no mention of his daughter's legal battles. Well, good for the Daily Mail for putting it together that she's lying. She says that their bankruptcy is because of this case, while the GoFundMe says the bankruptcy is because of the health stuff. Yeah, they caught her in a big-ass lie there. Owens' case has been, she's just like Laura. It's incredible. They just say whatever they want to say. They just say things. and then they don't care that they don't stick to their story. Owens' case has been amplified online because she previously sought protective orders against at least 2 men. She accused Greg Gillespie of abortion coercion in Arizona and got a restraining order against Michael Maricini in California. Both men deny her allegations. Gillespie and Maricini are reportedly on the witness list for the January trial. You know, I've never looked at this GoFundMe, and it's really gross that they put up all these pictures of Ron with a bunch of celebrities. It just seems very exploitive. Like, do these celebrities consent to their pictures being used to raise money for these frauds? Probably not. Aw, Mike. He's such a good guy. When their relationship fell apart, Maricini claimed on the website that Laura faked a twin pregnancy, another singular pregnancy, multiple miscarriages, and several abortions involving him. Yep. It's true. It's a crazy story. And I have it all on my channel, Daily Mail. If you would like to hear Mike Maricini's story, you could, link my channel to his interview, but you won't do that because I'm your competition and you know it. The website Victims of Laura Owens, again, there should be a link, outlines Owens' alleged pattern of filing false paternity claims, coercing men into relationships, and filing false orders of protection. A 2-day civil trial is scheduled for October 21st and 22nd in San Francisco involving Maricini, who I found out Laura filed for a continuance. I don't know what happened. I think they were supposed to be having a hearing today on that. So we'll have to find out what happened. But if I need to reschedule my flight and my hotel, guess what? I paid to have that ability. So, screw you, Laura. I'm still going to be there whenever it is because I got refundable tickets because I know how you are. Don't worry about it. By the way, if you'd like to help me get to San Francisco and pay for my hotel, the flight's already paid for, but I do have a Give, Send, Go. It is givesendgo.com/SanFran. And if you want to send an extra $5-10, it'll help me pay for the hotel and expenses while we're there so that I can bring you all the news as it happens, live streams. I still don't know if we'll be able to get a camera in the courtroom, but for sure I will be there and I will be able to tell you what happened. That is my specialty. I am a court reporter. I know how to do these things and I will bring you all of the details of what happened in court. He declined to speak. A 2-day trial is scheduled for Maricini, who met Owens on a dating app in 2016 and dated her on and off for a year. He declined to speak to the Daily Mail, citing the ongoing litigation, but on the website, which is run in concert with Eckert and Gillespie, it's alleged, which is run in concert with Eckert and are they suggesting it's Mike's website? Because it isn't. This is a weird sentence. I don't like it. It's alleged that Owens also faked a twin pregnancy, another singular pregnancy, multiple miscarriages, and several abortions involving him. This month's hearing centers on Owens' attempt to renew an existing domestic violence restraining order against him and Maricini's effort to have it end permanently. Owens' numerous critics online say that at least 3 legal disputes in a decade involving romantic partners suggests a suspicious and toxic pattern. Yeah, you think? But Black rejects that outright. She was unapologetically raw in discussing her daughter's sex life. Ugh. No.
This will get awkward.
And how she believes Laura has been serially victimized by her lovers, beginning with Maricini. This is going to get really weird, guys. Really, really weird.
This will get awkward.
She said her husband, Ron, totally supports Laura's version of things as well. As for Eckert, Black said the former University of Missouri football star initiated their first meeting, although texts on LinkedIn seen by the Daily Mail indicate that Owens initially contacted Eckert. Yep. I don't know why they say it indicates that. If you've seen the text messages, then you know that's what happened. Why are they using this language? There's no need for this. They're covering their ass, but there's no need for it. The evidence proves she contacted him first. You can say that. You don't need to say it indicates. You can say the text messages show that she did this first. He texted her one night and said, "Hey, would you mind coming over to cuddle? I'm lonely." Is that what he said? This is what Jan is saying that he said. I don't think that's how it worked. I think she sent him a nude and then he said, "Come over." I think that's how it went, Jan. And she said, yeah, but you need to understand this is not a booty call. We haven't seen these texts. I don't know if this is real. I think she's making it up. She texted him that. She said, I'm not coming over to have schmecks with you. I don't know if I believe that. We'll have to ask Clayton about that next time I talk to him. Despite this, Black alleges that Eckerd pressured her daughter when she got to his house. He's admitted they were grinding naked all night long and that he, oh, good Lord, that he, what's a euphemism for this? I'm trying to keep this video monetized, for God's sake. That he climbed the top of the mountain twice, shall we say, she claimed. But he wants to make it seem like she just had oral arguments with him and she's made this up. Black said her daughter's decision to try to make it work with Eckerd when he wasn't interested is a pattern you see with a lot of women who are abused. They don't want to believe it, and once he became this way, she got frightened. She tried to pull out slowly.
This will get awkward.
Oh my God. Jan, of all the phrases that you could use to tell this story, is pull out slowly really the phrase you want to go with?
Phrasing.
Oh my God. There are a lot of guys who on the surface look like great guys, and then you find out they have another side to them. Eckerd's version of his hookup with Owens began casually with no warning signs. He said Owens first reached out to him on LinkedIn on May 23rd, 2023, asking to contact a brokerage he was part of. I basically said, sure. We exchanged cell phone numbers. She started to text me saying she wanted to see homes, and then she started to be flirtatious. She sent me a provocative photo, and the mood shifted. I said, you should come over. She was completely normal, which is sad because she could have had a totally normal life, he told the Daily Mail. The trouble began, he said, when he told her he wasn't interested in pursuing a relationship after their night together. I was under the influence of marijuana that night, he said. If I'd been sober, I wouldn't have asked her to come over. When I woke up the next day, I felt it was a mistake. She started talking as if we were going down a serious path. I just wanted to be blunt and not lead her on. What happened next, Eckerd said, was very eerie. When he gently told Owens he didn't want to date her, he said a switch flipped. It wasn't her there anymore. Eckerd said she began sending him 5 or 6 angry emails per day, sent process servers to his workplace, and filed to have his Arizona Department of Real Estate license pulled. And then there's more. This is like her emails and Instagram posts. At one point, how long is this article? Oh, we're almost done. Okay. At one point, he asked her to come to his apartment to take a pregnancy test that turned out to be positive and rattled him, he said, until he decided she was taking HCG, a pregnancy hormone sometimes used in equine care, to fake test results. Prosecutors have not confirmed this accusation. No, but they did find that she had texted somebody to deliver HCG injections to the door in an unmarked brown package. So you do the math. Eckerd said that initially, before he knew if Owens was truly pregnant, I thought she had trapped me and felt a harrowing fear. Today, despite the looming trial, Eckerd is moving on with his life and focusing on his real estate career and his new hobby, dancing, which he showcases on his Instagram account. I totally compartmentalized that experience, he says. I feel I happened to stumble across one of the most crazy individuals I've ever met. The chances of me stumbling across another one, I'm not going to carry baggage from something previous. Attorney Joshua Colesrud, whose office represents Owens, told the Daily Mail they could not comment, citing ongoing litigation. All right, well, there you have it. We got through this newest article of the Daily Mail. My final thoughts are poorly done by leaving out all of the hard work that the YouTubers and journalists and Reddit crew and citizen investigators did to break this story and bring it to the public's attention. Like bad form, Daily Mail. Bad form not linking victims of LauraOwens.com. Bad form stealing my jokes, stealing my headlines, and not even having the courtesy to give me a link back. Wow. Pretty bad. Not even mentioning Dave Neal. How dare you? I think it just goes to show that what we're dealing with here.
You are fake news.
And it's not okay. Also, I did like, though, that they got the interview with Jan, so I'll give them credit for that. And they showcased Jan's craziness. All right. Well, I've got a lot more to get to, more videos to make, and I will be making a series of them going over the body cam footage, hopefully soon. And also David Gingras' latest filing and his crazy ass blog. Oh, yeah. He's not done. He's not done making an ass out of himself. I hate to say it. I'm sorry to say. He is not finished. Making everyone never forget what a terrible lawyer he really is. All right, that's it for me today. Take care, everybody.